Hello, thank you for taking an interest in the topic of robotics. This is a topic that both my name is Tobias Gutler, and my colleague Josef Zimmermann are very invested in. This is a very trendy topic, and it is no secret that more than 2 million industrial robots will be installed in the next 2 years. But the key question at this point is really, what is driving this issue?
The biggest driver is the trend towards high product variety with small batch sizes. This requires a great deal of flexibility from production and has implications for robotics, which means robots need to become more flexible and able to react more flexibly to environmental conditions. This means that the more sensors installed on a robot, the more flexible the machine is.
And that's probably exactly where we come into play, with an incredibly large range of sensors and 75 years of experience, especially when it comes to sensors for robotics. But, Josef, where do you see the main focus?
We see 4 elements for humans and machines to work together as equals. Sensor solutions for end-of-arm tooling, safe robotics, robot vision, and position feedback. We've compiled these 4 elements into an exhibit here which shows our solutions.
Let's jump right into the first topic, the topic of safe robotics.
I'd be happy to.
I think anyone who has ever had a safety approval done for a machine knows the long road to CE marking. How can we help our customers here?
That's precisely why we at SICK have developed a system that meets these requirements and at the same time fits perfectly into the process. This means that we generate a high level of safety and thereby high flexibility and productivity.
Yes, but how I know it, it is always the case that if a machine stops, a worker has to go to it. Acknowledge this. Press an emergency stop. Acknowledge it. And then it starts again. So there's nothing really flexible here. Where does the flexibility come from?
It comes from our system. For example, the following could be done with our system when it notices an approach towards the robot. The robot's speed is reduced. As soon as the worker enters the vicinity of the robot is safely shut down and stopped. When the worker leaves the hazardous area, the robot can be automatically started up again.
You just mentioned system solutions. What exactly are our customers getting as a system now?
We offer a kit consisting of the necessary hardware components, along with the software for the control and the safety laser scanner. It includes system calculation and robot-specific commissioning instructions, including a writing plan.
Oh, okay. That is a consistent system. I would now like to go right to the next topic, robot vision. Basically, what we're talking about here is our camera and vision solutions.
Yes.
And in essence, the goal is always identifying and localizing an object, in this case, these bolts, so that a gripping process can then take place. Now the question is, this is standard in that sense and a standard requirement. Our portfolio is extensive. So where do you see the focus? And what is the highlight here?
My personal highlight is the Plok 2D, simply because anyone can install the Plok 2D. What makes it very simple is that it is a standalone device. That means you don't need an additional PC. It comes with the system, and you also have faster success. You can very quickly carry out the first object localization process. Once you've connected to the device, you have the XY pick pose data and the angles of the object in no time.
Yes, that sounds really easy, like really anyone can operate it.
Yes, there is an interface to most robot stations, and the connection via PLC is also easy to implement.
I would like to talk about a highlight that is very close to my heart, the MPSG, simply because I think it's such an extremely tiny sensor.
Yes, the 25mm really have it all.
Yeah, crazy.
This sensor is well suited for many measuring tasks. For example, it can be used to implement a jaw gripper position or monitor press fit processes. And the continuous monitoring of the actuator helps identify weak points in the system in a timely manner.
Yes, then we could ultimately use this later for process analysis or process optimization with precisely this data, right?
Exactly, and there's more. The sensor also provides vibration and temperature data that can be used later to provide info about the condition of the system. I'd like to point out another highlight now, and I think that this product will create potential for savings for our customers.
Potenziale bei unseren Kunden wecken.
I guess when you talk about savings potential in end-of-arm tooling, you have the FTMG in mind, right?
Exactly. Compressed air is available in many robot applications, and though compressed air is one of the most expensive forms of energy available for production, it's often used negligently and wastefully. The FTMG can be used to determine how much energy is being consumed and can apply energy management and measures as needed.
Yes, so definitely also a great product we're showing here. Let's move on to the last point and also the last topic, position feedback.
Letzten Themengebiet, dem Position.
We have actually now finally arrived in the robot, or at the robot. I'm thinking of a metaphor of yours that this is the robot's sense of place.
Der Ortssinn des Roboters.
Yes, that's a simplified way of stating it. So the motor feedback systems provide linear and rotational data, and based on this data, the robot can practically determine its position in space.
Yes, this is probably standard data that everyone delivers, isn't it? What makes us stand out here?
Was jetzt aus an der Stelle?
Our highlight here is the single-cable Hyperface DSL. The upside is that there is only one cable, and that has the advantage that additional hub data can be fed into this input technology.
Good. You just mentioned the topic of condition monitoring. Now we have really arrived at digitalization and the product. I'm thinking of the S-Hub. How do the topics go together? The Hyperface DSL with the S-Hub.
You actually have two sources, the motor feedback system that provides the information and the sensors in the motor. And the sensor data is looped into the Hyperface DSL via the S-Hub and transmitted as a complete package regardless of the source.
Does this really mean that I can push process values like this rotation value as well as service values such as vibration through a channel and evaluate them?
Yes, you could do that, no problem. This also has the advantage that if information data is added to the position data, diagnostic values can be run in a timely manner and risky systems can be localized early on.
Wow. So I have to say, in all honesty, I am always just blown away by what a great range we have for robotics. I hope I'm not the only one, and that we have also piqued your interest.
Wir auch Sie begeistern konnten.
If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Until then, stay healthy and see you soon.
Und bis bald.